Hello and welcome to the NILE Take Your School online course. My name is Chris Farrell. I'm going to give you a general introduction to the course and show you some of the key components. In this course, we're going to be looking at the transition from a face-to-face to an online school in terms of the whole school operation. In some contexts, schools have been forced to move online quite quickly. Now we're going to focus on how we can do that properly. We're particularly going to focus on the accreditation and quality framework principles of Equals and Acquedito. This course is rooted in the Equals accreditation criteria. Now, when looking at the Equals accreditation criteria, there's a number of key areas we need to consider when moving online, and a number of key areas which are not so important for us in terms of the change in our school when moving online. In the Equals accreditation criteria, we have management and administration, academic resources, staff profile. All of these things are generally considered okay in the transfer to online capabilities. There's some sort of redefinition of principles, but nothing major. However, in some other areas, for example, learning environment, course design, support system, and client services, we need some minor considerations. And these areas will make up Unit 4 of the course, redefining practice and principles. Unit 1, 2, and 3 will be made up by the other three things on the list. Teaching and learning will be Unit 1, assessment and certification Unit 2, and quality assurance Unit 3. These are three areas which have been identified as in need of a major enhancement in how you do things in the move to online. So we're going to look at what are our reflective questions on what we do as schools, and we're also going to look at some tools that we can use in order to make this transition as seamless as possible. In terms of teaching and learning, I guess primary question is, how do we assess success in this area? And in Unit 1, we're going to look at things like the quality of course delivery, being constantly able to provide opportunities for effective learning, how lessons are planned with reference to the course program, and do learners have the opportunity to develop their study skills? So are all of these areas key components in our online school as they are in our face-to-face school? In Unit 2, in terms of assessment and certification, we're going to look at assessment procedures being compatible with the institution's educational philosophy, because you might have policies and procedures in place which are key to your pedagogical principles in a face-to-face context, but you need to make sure that they are equally transferred into an online context. Placement procedures, however you work them, are appropriate to the learning context and to learners' needs. Systems for assessing language competence are reliable, valid, and fair. This is really tricky in an online context, and we're going to dig into this a little bit in Unit 2. In addition, we've got this idea of reliable statement of level achieved and our ability to ensure quality in our assessment and certification process in an online context as well as in a face-to-face context. And that brings me directly on to QA. Now, QA obviously takes in the whole course, but it's particularly Unit 3. We're going to focus on QA in the area of continuous evaluation, reflection, and action, in the area of the learning experience, and this being fully monitored and managed by the management structures, by the policies and procedures in the institution. And also we're going to look at the feedback channels within the institution and how they can be replicated from the face-to-face into the online context and even enhanced. So Unit 4 is going to be made up of these four different areas, and this is safeguarding, which is massive consideration, especially with younger learners and very young learners. Course design and support systems, and is the course that you've designed for delivery in a face-to-face context the same as an online, or do you need to think about blending of synchronous and asynchronous spaces, for example? Client services, and this is key stakeholders, if there's children involved as parents as well. And this is really, really important consideration in channels of communication and how you actually deal with your clients. And then the learning environment and also non-pedagogical spaces and how you support that as an institution. So 4-week course, 4 units, pretty packed. The big focus is for you to be able to get in touch with other course participants and really create that community of practice, so we can see which tools are able to help us bridge some of these gaps and how we're able to make this transition properly and to the extent that even these strict accreditation criteria are achievable for us in an online context. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this course.